What's up, Cancer rising? If Saturn is in retrograde and Saturn is your daddy standing in your room with the belt in his hand, you get in trouble for not cleaning up the energy of your ninth and 10th house. So, the last 2 to 3 years or 2.5 years, Saturn has been cleaning up the energy of your ninth house. The ninth house represents education, it represents travel, it represents philosophies, it represents spirituality, and it also represents teaching. So if you have not been adding structure and discipline to this area of life, if you haven't been studying like you need to, if you are trying to pursue, academic goal, if you haven't been studying, Saturn, you might fail your classes. You might have to repeat. Saturn's going to retrograde. You might have to revisit some of those courses that you didn't finish or get enough credits for. With Saturn energy in your ninth house, you might have to revisit some faraway place that you went before, because Saturn is retrograding from your 10th house to your ninth house. You're now learning about restrictions when it comes to career and when it comes to public image and when it comes to your status and your legacy. You're learning about not oversharing when it comes to uh, status and sharing, how the world perceives you is the energy of the 10th house. So you're learning how to have boundaries when it comes to how much you show in your 10th house. So you're also learning with Aries energy in your 10th house how to be more independent, how to be more self-sufficient, because we got a lot going on. I have to do a whole Cancer rising transit videos to break it down, but y'all know we have, really quick, we have Aquarius going through our eighth house. We have Pluto in Aquarius going through our eighth house. We have Jupiter going through Cancer in our first house, which is, good energy, good or bad, but it's amplifying energy. And we have Uranus just entered our 12th house in Gemini. So, our subconscious mind, we're having all kind of dreams, we're having all kind of visions, and, we're very intuitive and spiritual people. So we're having a lot of spiritual, unexplainable things, because, Uranus is otherworldly. But that's a whole nother subject. This video is about Saturn's energy coming to our 10th house, finishing up in our ninth house. So some of y'all, it affected y'all being able to travel. It affected, like I said, your education. You've been able to graduate. Some of y'all had restrictions when it came to your spirituality. Some of y'all had some revelations when it came to your spirituality. And now, you might have a new belief system and new philosophies about things that you thought were one way your whole entire life, and now you have a new perspective with Saturn energy here leaving your ninth house, moving into your 10th, but then retrograding back into your ninth house. It might be, plans to permanently travel somewhere, travel a long distance, or a big move or something of that nature. Maybe you're moving for work, or maybe you're starting a new business, because we have, like I said, entrepreneurship energy when Aries is in the 10th house. It's all about the self, it's all about what you do as a career, for yourself. Or some of y'all are like bosses or authority figures in your jobs, and if you are not, these could be times where you're having to become your own boss, because maybe you and your boss aren't seeing eye to eye. And with Aries energy in your 10th house, is always a challenge there with authority figures. And then you have the energy of Saturn there, adding that extra level of hard work and restriction and challenge and stuff like that. You might quit your jobs because of issues with your, like I said, bosses and authority figures. But this might also propel you into entrepreneurship and being able to start your own business. So it's a good thing if you put in the work. That's the energy of Saturn. So, if Saturn is your daddy sitting in the room with a belt in his hand, you getting your ass beat, but the rewards come with your legacy, the rewards that are left behind, because it's Cancer energy. You care a lot about legacy for your family. You care a lot about doing something that you can feel proud of, because you're passionate about your career. With well, you should be having a career that you're passionate about, with Aries energy of the warrior, what you're willing to fight for, in your 10th house of career and public image. So that's all I got, Cancer. But hang in there. I know we got a lot of a lot of tough transits going on, but we've been getting through, and we're going to continue to get through. And don't be afraid of Saturn. Just put in the work,